morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to the latest segment of the Canon Project on a Monday. It's like just a couple of minutes after the hour of 5:30 p.m. UK time. I know it's going to vary wherever you are in this world of ours, but someone got a new contract and the job's not done. And it wasn't me. It wasn't me. If only, if only. But then it's going to be a short, sharp Canon Project show. I've got some other bits and pieces I need to be getting on with. But let's get on with the introductions. CM War Games, Richard, how are you?
Very good, thank you, Alex, and thank you for having us back on.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you on the platform, Richard. Thank you for taking up the invitation. Thank you. And we've got my brother from another mother, Isaac.
Hello everyone. Great to be back.
Well done, well done. So we've got a echo problem, and I'm going to try my best to manage the echo, and let's see how far we get on this on this show. Richard, someone got a new contract, and the job's not done. We're not in top four. The season's not finished.
Well, it's job not done if top four was the aim, but I don't think top four was the aim. I think European qualification was the aim, and on that basis, it's done. You got to remember the contract's a two-year renewal, and if he loses his first 10 games, he's not next season. He won't be there, plain and simple. But what it does do, it allows them to go to players like Saka and say, Arteta's just signed a new contract. Is what we're offering you, and they know what to expect, and it will help with renegotiating players like Saka and whoever else needs to renew. They've also renewed Jove as the set piece coaches, and it's just about timing, isn't it? Whether you think it's the right time or not, but he has improved us this season. The last two seasons he hasn't, but he didn't have players he wanted in. It was still sort of Emery's and Wenger's players in there. He's slowly getting rid of all the deadwood, and we just got to see what happens.
I think it's bold of the club to come out because, I mean, clearly they've shown literally no matter what happens, Mikel Arteta is the guy that they're going for and they're going to support, come hell or rain. But I'm just thinking the season's not over yet. We've not secured top four. But they've made it very plainly clear, literally, that, Mikel Arteta is his guy. Isaac, your thoughts?
To me, he deserved a contract extension because he has done an incredibly good job at Arsenal. A lot of us might not see the job that he's done at Arsenal, but he's done a good job. I've done analysis from the time he arrived at Arsenal. He's brought squad stability. He's brought some stability in the team. He inherited a team that was dismantled, and he's changed three things at Arsenal. He's changed the culture that had developed at Arsenal, which was not a good culture. He's changed the mentality of the players, and he's done some good signings, especially this season. This season he's had good signings, most of them who are not expensive, but he's had good signings. And of all his signings this season, I don't believe any of those signings has let him down. Most of those signings have turned out to be good signings. They've actually proved that they deserve to be at this club. Apart from Sambi, who's a young lad, 17 years, and is developing, who's not had a lot of game time, because actually Sambi and Partey cannot be competing at the moment because Partey, he's world class, and Sambi is developing. He's part of the development squad, and Tavares, who's had a bit of shaky moments at times, is had a good transfer window. And moving forward, if he has another good summer, I believe we'll be giving the big boys a run for the money, because I said, coming from last season, we lost last season to Aston teams like Aston Villa, home and away. But coming to this season, we've been beating teams in and around us. And to my surprise, we've managed to beat Chelsea and Manchester United at our turfs. And we've managed to beat West Ham home and away. Last season, we only beat West Ham at home, but at their turf, we drew 3-3. But this time, we've won at their turf. So this, to me, is a progress. It is a working progress. It's not. It was not a one night thing, or an overnight thing, but it has been a working on progress, because you can see where he's coming from, and his contract extension actually gives him more time, or even makes players commit. We've seen the likes of El Neni, and there are reports that they are negotiating on his contract extension with a 2 years or 1 year, with an option to extend for a further year. Players will be comfortable to commit to the club if they know the manager who has the project commits to the club. But if he doesn't commit to the club, the likes of Tierney, who's wanted by Real Madrid, the likes of Gabriel Magalhaes, who's apparently being scouted by Barcelona, if the manager who they feel comfortable working with doesn't commit, it gives them a bit of a doubt. And the players will also not want to commit, because a different manager will come in, a different manager with a different style of play, or with a different vision, and that disrupts like everything. But now they have a manager who they understand what he wants, who they understand where he's come from and where he's headed to. Players will feel free to commit to the project that was sold to them earlier.
But Isaac, I mean, do contracts really mean anything in modern day football? Do they really mean anything? I mean, a club can buy out, for example, if Barcelona wanted to go for Mikel Arteta, as an example, couldn't they buy out his contract anyway? So contracts really don't mean that much, do they, Isaac?
In modern day football, contracts don't mean much to most of the high profile managers. But look at a rookie manager who's had a great season this season, who's going back to Champions League, and who has a team that is full of young lads and who are the future. And something that I was watching, and that came across my mind, is that some of these American owners, the likes of Kroenke, the Glazers, and there is this new owner who is heading the consortium that wants to buy Chelsea. They give you time to do whatever you want to do, as long as you give them profits. They are not hand-on owners. They'll give you the management team, they give you everything, and they'll not be like directly involved in running the club. All they want is their profits. Have you won them a cup? Yes. What have you brought? An FA Cup. Have they got profits? Yes. They are comfortable with you. But if you have these owners who are coming from the West, they are like hands-on. Yes, you've won the FA Cup, but our target was the Premier League. You're out of the door. You've won the Premier League. Our target was the Champions League. We won the Champions League. You are out of the door. But the American owners tend to give you time. Yes, he's been given time. I understand that most of the time in this modern football, most coaches have been bought out by, like, if a higher profile club comes for their calling, they run to those other clubs. But I don't believe there is a club that will have given Arteta time like Arsenal has given him time. Because if we've seen what has happened at the likes of Newcastle. We've seen what happened to Watford. Watford brought in was it Ranieri?
Yeah.
And then he was shown the door. So you can imagine he's been to this club and he's been given that much time. I was watching his interview and he said that he was given the contract after he lost 3 consecutive games, and he was emotional. He could not believe that. I don't believe there is a club in this world that can do that apart from Arsenal. I believe that they believe in him. They've seen what he can do. And I've been doing my analysis all through, and I've been saying Arteta could be a mini Klopp because he's finished twice. It is a similar pattern to what happened to Klopp when he went to Liverpool. He finished 8th twice. And if he goes on and finishes 4th this season and finishes 4th next season with an FA Cup, he could be replicating what Klopp did at Liverpool.
Richard, contracts don't mean a thing.
Well, as I said before, I think if you don't renew and then you go and get a new coach, you have to. There's a possibility you have to restart again, and that puts us further behind. And there's no guarantee a new coach will do any better. This season, we've had the 3rd best team at home, with a 5th best team points wise away from home. That's where we need to catch up. At home, we're only 6 to 8 points behind Liverpool and City with our points total. Away from home, we're 9 points away from Liverpool, and we're 14 points away from City away from home. So it's obviously away from home we've got to improve, but he has made improvements, and we're currently sitting in 4th. If we don't finish 4th, it will be a disappointment. And let's be honest, it's not a failure. It's a big disappointment because on paper at the start of the season, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and then you had Man United or Spurs in 4th place. And then that's it. So actually being in pole position is better than when we consider, and he's overachieved in my opinion.
Isaac, did you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Alex.
Yeah. Again, without any additions come the summer transfer window, how far do you think this squad can go in a Champions League campaign?
Group stages. We need additions. We cannot lie to ourselves that this squad is going to play Champions League and take us even up to the semi-finals. With this group, we can go out even at the group stages because they are not, number one, they are not experienced, most of them. They're not experienced players. They are young lads. A few of them are experienced players. And I don't see Lacazette renewing his contract. I don't know what happened because it happened to Aubameyang and then was frozen. But I don't believe he's going to freeze him because anyway, he's out of contract. I don't see him renewing I only see him renewing Nketiah's contract. From what I've been seeing, I only see him renewing Nketiah's contract and El Neni's, because El Neni does not complain sitting on the bench, so he's comfortable having him on the bench as a squad player. If Nketiah renews and they agree that he's going to be a squad player or he's be going to play cup games, and then they agree on that, he's going to renew his contract. He apparently he has the same agent as Bolagun, and also Bolagun renewed his contract at the end of it. So it's like I sense something is happening with Nketiah, because the other day he was being asked about Nketiah and he was saying, let the boy enjoy his wins in peace. So yes, we need squad. We need like six incomings, 6 good incomings, not just incomings. We need 6 good incomings, because we need 2 strikers for me. We need 2 fullbacks. That is a cover for Tierney and a cover for Tomiyasu, because these two have proved to be injury prone. Those are 4. And then we need like 2 midfielders, or 1 midfielder and a winger who's going to be a backup for Saka if we have to let go of Pepe.
Well, before we went live on air, I was having a conversation with Richard about 2 named strikers, which Darwin Núñez and Patrick Schick. Richard, do you want to talk us through about these 2 strikers? Where would they fit in, if at all, in Mikel Arteta's plan?
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, from Schick is 1.99 meters tall, and he tends to like to run in behind, and he scores most of his goals with his feet. He scored 2 goals with his head. He has been injury prone this season. He didn't do well in Italy, but when he moved, he set the Bundesliga alight this season. 24 goals, 4 assists. So if he was to progress, that's good. On Núñez, he's a slightly shorter at 1.8 meters, but he can play centre forward, second striker, or as left forward. So he offers probably more adaptability. Downside is he's only played for Benfica, but he'll score goals with feet or head. He's got quite a few headers, and they're not sort of just where he's free in the box. These are up against defenders, so he's good in the air. And he'll run at defenders, take them on. He'll give himself a little bit of space in the box. He's got a little bit of nous about him. But my question mark is, he's only scored those 40 goals for Benfica, and he hasn't played in another league. So will he be able to adapt to the English league and bring that sort of scoring with him? Possibly, you don't know, but it's a risk whatever striker you go for. I mean, but what I've seen, I like of him. And if I was honest, I'd rather take a punt on Núñez, because, as I said, Schick this season has been injury prone, and I haven't seen Núñez's injury record, but he doesn't seem to have been injured as long or any this season. Maybe last season he was, but this season I haven't seen any injury reports on him.
I could not hear what you said, Alex. Can you kindly repeat?
Did you see the game yesterday? Leeds.
I watched the whole game. I was on transit, and I had to use my phone to watch the whole game. But it was a good game. Actually, before the game, there is a fellow Guna who said this game is going to be hard for us, and I told him, nah, this is not a hard game for us. Leeds are an attacking side. We don't struggle against attacking sides. We struggle against teams who park the bus and who are playing a physical game. I told him Leeds is not going to be a hard game. We are winning this. I expect us to struggle against Newcastle and against Tottenham away, because those are the two teams that I know are parking the bus and are playing physical games. But I told him to away to Tottenham we could get a draw, but if they relax we could win that game, because in a derby there is no form. The form goes out the window. So we could play the best football that day and win. And if we win that day, top four is sealed for us. If we win that game, top four is sealed for us, even if we lose the rest. Because right now we are 4 points ahead of Tottenham. And that is what makes me happy. Actually, I got my notes. Whoever stole my notes brought them back. During my analysis, when I analyze this, I remember saying if Tottenham wants to finish ahead of us, out of their 9 games, they had to make sure they win 8 and draw 1, so that they end up with 75 points. That is how they could finish ahead of us. And apparently they lost 1 and they have drawn 2 games. So I don't see them finishing ahead of us, despite the fact that they have Burnley and Norwich and Arsenal. And amongst the toughest games I laid down for Tottenham, I only laid 2 games down to be the hardest games for them, which were Liverpool and Arsenal. So when they drew against Brentford, I had counted that they could beat Brentford, and they drew against Liverpool, which was a tough game. So we could go to their tough and actually come back with a draw, but we could end up winning that game. Why? Conte has had 8 meetings with Arsenal. He's only won 1 game. He's drawn 3 and lost 4. So Conte does not have a good record against Arsenal. That could work to our advantage. So all the Gunners, wherever you are, this is a game we could win, or the worst we could get is a draw. So I don't see any reason why we could not get a top 4. We are getting top 4, and Alex, be prepared for the ice bucket challenge.
Thank you, Isaac. Richard, the game yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to praise Arteta first of all, because he put Tomiyasu on the left. He recognised Rafinha was their biggest threat, and he put up probably one of our most outstanding defender over to nullify. And I don't remember. I remember Rafinha got down, and it looked like he was going to get past him, but he stayed with him and got a toe poker on the ball away and snuffed it out. And then the rest of the game, Rafinha didn't get anything against him. So I think for that, we have to big Arteta up. We have to, when he got it wrong against Brighton, putting Xhaka at left back, we blasted him for that. And again, playing Emile Smith Rowe at Valencia in the false 9, he got that wrong. But when he gets things right like he did yesterday, we have to praise him. I thought the game was comfortable. We conceded a first corner from a first corner. It was a first shot, first touch in the box, first shot on goal. I think Ramsdale maybe should have done a little bit better with that, but it was point blank range, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But to be honest, we controlled that game. We should have scored more. That's the only criticism I could have of that. When you're at Donovan and you have that many chances, you've got to put 1 or 2 more away just to make it a little bit more comfy, because maybe those last few minutes it's not so nervy for the fans then, and it might be nervous as well. But other than that, going into the Tottenham game, Tottenham don't really want a draw. They need a win. A draw doesn't do Tottenham any good. So Conte likes to play sit back, counter-attacking football. I don't think he can afford to do that against us. I think they have to come out and go for the win, which should play into our hands. What I'd like to see is that first 20 minutes, hunker down, keep it tight, keep cool heads, don't do anything silly, and then play with a maturity we have seen, like we've seen them against Leeds. Attack sensibly, keep a shield in front of a back four, because even the loss to us doesn't do us any harm. It just means we have to win the last two, which we're quite capable of doing. It's just that a point makes takes pressure off us. So I think we go there to win, but we don't go out and attack them and attack them still and leave ourselves exposed. We go there, soak up that first 15-20 minutes pressure, and then start picking them off on the counter attack and controlling the game. Get the fans quiet, and I think we come away with a result.
Okay. Well, listen, anyone's just kind of tuned in now. This is the latest segment of the Cannon Project. I've got Brother Isaac with me, as well as CM War Games. We've just been talking about, the action over the weekend. Let's go into the live chat. It's going to be a short, sharp show. See if I can knock this out in 2 minutes. So we've got Ashley D, who's the moderator for the evening show. Says, hey up, Gooners, and hey up to you. Now, I'm not sure why the Assemble has got these emojis laughing. Why are you laughing for? Did I say something funny? I'm not sure what's going on there. Then we've got Spursy and Mikel Arteta. Big up Alex Arteta, out Eddie. All right, moving on. Big up War Games.
Thank you, why not?
We have seen this season Aston Villa, Burnley, Tottenham have more ambition than Arsenal. Isaac.
What ambition are you talking about? Because I can say Arsenal are the only ambitious club at the moment. Yes, we've had our ups and downs, and this was expected by like each and every person, because this was an inexperienced squad, which was not going to be a straight road. We obviously, all of us expected that there were going to be bumps along this road. And yes, we've seen those bumps. 3 straight defeats at the start of the season. And before we beat Chelsea, it was also 3 straight defeats. Those were the bumps, but it's a work in progress. Right now, we are at 66 points. Even if the season ended right now, we are at 66 points. For me, it's an improvement from last season's 61 points. Let's be honest with ourselves. Some things that has hampered teams, sorry to mention the likes of Man United, because of changing coaches without a plan, or changing coaches who have different visions, who have different styles of play. Those teams could be very far away, but because they changed managers consistently without investing, like the likes of Abramovich were investing, because even if they changed, they were investing heavily, which made them very huge losses. To this point, Chelsea owe Abramovich like 1 billion, which was written off. But ours has been a work in progress. There's a bit, honestly, there's a photo I was looking at this morning of the squad that Arteta inherited from Unai, and I was like, wow. Papastapras was left back. no, he was centre back, and Kolasinac was a left back. I was like, wow, he really inherited a form of a squad, and he has changed that. you can imagine an improvement from Kolasinac to Tini, from Papastropoulos to Magalis and Ben White. That is a great step ahead. We are, yes, we've had a vision, which was not an overnight vision. It was a plan that was laid out for a long term. When Arteta came in, he himself said it's a long-term thing. Yes, it's a long-term thing. Let's accept it's a long-term thing. Let's accept if we get to the top 4, that is our cap for this season.
There's one here again. How can you compare Klopp to Arteta? Their levels. Klopp got 4th whilst being in Europe and Cups. Arteta is struggling for 3rd, a loser with no Europe, sacrificing all Cups. Do you want to respond to that, Richard? Or
well, yeah, I'll start. Klopp didn't win anything in his first season. Arteta did. Okay, I will say to you, why not compare Arteta and Klopp? Once Arteta's had 3 full transfer windows, because Klopp had 3 summer winter transfer windows. Compare him then and see where we are. I mean, for me, next season, whether we finish in Champions League or not this season, next season we have to finish in the top 4. We have to finish 9 to 12 points closer to City and Liverpool, because I think we're 2 to 3 years away from actually being able to pit them to the title, and that's because we can't go out and spend 250 million plus a season. So we've got to be a bit more clever about it. But do that, win a cup, 4th, comfortably in 4th or 3rd, and 9 to 12 points closer to Spurs, and then you can start comparing Arteta from next season onwards to Klopp. But he's a rookie manager. Klopp came here; he was already really experienced in Germany, so I think you can't compare them yet.
We have to end the show. I said it's going to be a 30-minute show. But what I'm going to say to both Isaac and Richard, if you're both available tomorrow to continue.
Yeah, I'm available tomorrow if that's all right. Yeah, with Isaac.
I'll do my work as quick as I did today so that I can get on.
Yeah, because like it was going to be a half an hour show, and we literally just kind of tipped over the half-hour mark. But it's an interesting debate as always on a Canon project. So I look forward to see these guys again tomorrow for, I don't know, a Canon project like mashup or part 2 or whatever you want to call it. And we are done and dusted. So I did say it's going to be a short show. Like it says, subscribe to Canon Foyer TV on all platforms. We're currently running on Facebook, Twitter Sphere, and of course right here on Canon, actually the YouTube channel. So to my contributors today, let's see what happens tomorrow. And this has been our channel, Canon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over